Allow me to introduce myself. I represent the Rent is Too Damn High party. People working 8 hours a day and 40 hours a week in some a third job. Women can't afford to take care of their children, feed their children breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My main job is to provide a roof over your head, food on the table, and money in your pocket. This is politics as usual. Playing the silly game, and it's not going to happen. The Rent Too Damn High movement, the people I'm here to represent can't afford to pay their rent. They're being laid off right now as I speak. They can't eat breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Listen, someone's stomach, child's stomach just growled. Did you hear it? Gotta listen like me.
Okay,
let's
Mr.
talk
McMillan.
about the issue. People can't afford to pay their rent.
30 seconds for you, sir.
Rent is too damn high. Well, the President Barack Obama has already put the plans and wheels in motion. All we have to do is execute them. We are the $800 billion bailout, the $787 billion stimulus, and now that we all are 61% owners of General Motors, there's enough money here to go around. It's just that we need a state legislative body to know how to get that money for Washington, D.C. Taking the cuts is not necessary. The money is there. All we need to do is make it possible for people to have money to spend. It's like it's a cancer. It will heal itself if you went about it in the right measures. Cutting taxes and cutting property taxes, we're going to do that but we're also going to put money in people's pockets to spend. So you asked me a question under the current system, that's a total failure. We plan to create a new system so that everyone will have money. We have money for education under President Barack Obama's plan. And don't forget, at the same time, we all the 61% owners of General Motors. No one is thinking about that. Everyone is running, forgetting about what the president has done. Everything I heard so far has failed. Nothing has worked. Now it's time to take a new approach. The young men and women sitting in college today, there's no reason for you to pay college tuition. Under the President Barack Obama plan, it's already paid for. All we need to do is let me be your governor so I can get the U.S. senators to go to Washington, D.C. to get that money. Those who are paying property taxes, it's already done. You already put money into the bailout, $6,000 approximately to the bailout and the stimulus. The money is already there. Don't forget what the president has done. Everyone is running for public office now like the president don't exist. President Barack Obama has put a plan forward. Let's execute it, and let's not leave him out of this. All we have to do is implement his plan, and everything will be just fine. The process will heal itself. Once you put money in your pocket to spend, it'll be just fine.
Thank you.
The Rent is Too Damn High party have a different approach than all is said. It's all about jobs. None of this other stuff. The state will heal itself. Everybody want to put too much in the government. That's why nothing is working. We do believe all of the Ponzi's and the real estate fraud that's been uncovered lately. For the people, we're going to reduce and cut property taxes and real estate taxes to give businesses a chance to lower their rates. If you're a store, you pay $6,000 a month for rent, we're going to cut your rent to $3,000, and your property taxes to
Thank you, Mr.
we're going to cut it in half. My concern is that we've looked at it as well, but what we plan to do, we know they're going to criticize our agenda as well, because we plan to bulldoze some of those mountains upstate New York to make New York State an independent state. I want my own cable company. I want my own telephone company. I want my own power plant. This is what we're going to do to create jobs. You can't please everyone, but the bottom line is that it's time New York State become an independent state in resources. Following the attack on the World Trade Center, we've been having to depend on everyone to give us this and give us that. That is over. We can form our own industrial plant. Everything can be done right here in the state of New York. Of course, I can't please everyone with what I plan to do, but for the children, someone has to start moving for the future generation. It's not about me or you. We're getting old. I'm 64 years old. I don't know how old you guys are. But for the children, we have to take a bold move and start becoming an independent state and let those little small criticisms, the technology has improved. It is great. You're going to have a little small minor problems that happen every now and then, but it must be done. Must be done.
All right.
For the young man that called, and I have a niece, she's a fashion designer, McMillan. The Rent declaring an economic state of emergency, he won't complain anymore. Because what we plan to do will help every American, every New Yorker by cutting the rent and prices down. Our main goal is to put money into the pockets of the people so that we can jumpstart this economy. Of course, we have a lot of discrimination in the state. I know that. But with the right leadership, we can get past all that. We have a President Barack Obama had asked all of us to let's move this economy along. So what we do, we'll iron out those little differences later. I'll invite all these gentlemen into my office when I get to Albany, and we'll sit down and have a coffee. I like to have coffee. But the bottom line, the economic state of emergency is the way to go. This will reduce the cost. You cut the rent down, you cut the taxes down to give business owners a chance to hire people. That is it. Nothing else to be said. End of subject. There's nothing else to talk about it. Rent is too damn high. We look at it a different way than others for the people in my community and that I'm here to represent. The teachers are like babysitters in the high schools now because the parents can't feed their children and children going to school hungry. No one is talking about, they're talking about the grades the children are not getting, but they're not talking about the children can't learn when they're hungry. So the hunger crisis is a reality of the children. So there's a lot of issues we need to address. We tried all of that before it didn't work. So we need to get back to the basic principles of life, making sure the parent can be home to feed their children so that they can get a good quality education when they're well fed. They're undernourished, and we are criticizing all of this when we have not talked about the hunger crisis. And this is where the problem is when it comes to our children. Even here at this college, they can't learn when you're hungry. So before you're talking about any money for education, let's talk about money for food so they can learn, and they are willing to learn. But let's give them the tools to learn better than what they learn. Don't make this system no complicated than what it is.
All right, thank you, sir.
I am the governor. Nothing will pass my desk. No increases will pass my desk. I want full control. I mentioned this on one of my friends. He has a radio show on WWRL. His name is Earl Lewis. I told the people I have prepared a tax reduction form for you to fill out. Anything over $75 until I get this under control. Of course, we have a lot of problems. That's why the state is in chaos now. But only a governor, like a father of a house, can put everything in control and get this state in the control we need. Checks and balances, and learn how to keep this group calm while I take care of business over here. This is what I'm here to do. A distinguished gentleman like myself is the only one suitable up here to do that. I know how to do it. A tax credit, let a tax deduction give you about anything over $75 that you pay in travel fee, you will get it back in the end of the year until I get the state under control. That's what Governor McMillan will do.
All right, Mr. Pell.
New York, estimated 20 million people. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. You can't make it here. For the people at an estimated 9 million people in downstate, an estimated 9 million people upstate. What I plan to do will benefit the people upstate, so listen carefully. I'm terminating the Rent Guidelines Board, Rent Control Board, Rent Stabilization Board. These boards have been raising people's rent. Landlords with violations. Landlords refuse to register their buildings. They're charging late fees, changing the locks on the doors, making you pay for a special key to get in and out. If your name is not on the lease, you don't get a key. The tenants of Flatbush Garden in my neighborhood, and the tenants of Marcus Garvey Projects in Brooklyn, all across Brooklyn, Bronx, Staten Island, Manhattan, and Queens. That estimated 9 million people, we can generate the revenues we need by lowering the rent and saying to you, I'm sorry this government did not treat you the way they should have. We're going to lower that rent. We're going to get rid of these boards, and we're going to make it a New York State rent board. The people will have our trust. Let me lead by example that we can generate a $3.6 trillion surplus in the state of New York by reducing the rent so that tenants can have money to spend, and it would bring businesses back to the state. It's a simple message, which I say all the time. Someone say I'm a one-issue candidate, but it all boils down to one thing: rent. It's too damn high.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan.
At the end of the day, our children will have nowhere to live. That is what I'm fighting for. As a karate expert, I will not talk about anyone up here because our children can't afford to live anywhere. Nowhere. There's nowhere to go. Once again, why? You said it, the rent is too damn high.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute,
in 1994, I walked from Brooklyn to Buffalo, fighting for out of business, going out of business, lost our lease. Housing, homeless crisis, and jobless crisis. Providing a roof over your head, food on your table, and money in your pocket. I need all mayors of cities to join me. Every mayor, executive in the cities in the state of New York to join me. So when Bill Thompson is elected mayor of the city of New York, I want him to come to my office so we can help put this together. I am reducing rent and will reduce rent. I will reduce the cost for businesses across this state. Economic growth, job development. The Rent Too Damn High Party will create 3 to 6 million jobs in 2.5 years or less with a $3 to $6 trillion surplus. Everything that I hear here has said nothing about job creation and economic. Rent is Too Damn High Party is about jobs and create economic and restoring family values by reducing the cost of living so that mothers can be home. The little children join the gang to shoot each other in the street. Why? Because mother and dad is not home. The kids are joining gangs. We need to stop it. Reducing the cost of living so that mothers and fathers can be home will eliminate all of that.
That's 1 minute, Mr. McMillan. That's 1 minute.
First, I'm with Jimmy. The rent is too damn high.